Hello there and happy St. Patrick's Day. This is not your usual Discuss With Us topic episode, but I wanted to do a reflection on St. Patrick's Day nonetheless because I myself have enjoyed reading about St. Patrick today and learning a little bit. We are on like an unintended hiatus that hopefully ends very soon, but we being Brian and myself, have just been busy with spring break and the boys, and we're always busy, but it has just been nearly impossible, mainly because, as I think we've shared on here before, our boys' bedtime routine is just a little nuts right now and it's a little intense. So by the end of the day, when we normally go and record these episodes, we just haven't had that much brain capacity left over recently, but we did take some action towards that yesterday and swapped their rooms around. We're hoping this kind of solves some of our, I don't even want to say issues. It's a long process right now. And whereas they used to stay in bed, now sometimes they get out. So anyways, fellow parents are nodding along with me like, yep, I've been there. So that's what we've been doing over here, other than also some fun activities. We've had t-ball and baseball going on, and that's getting kicked off. And then most recently, spring break in Arkansas. So just a busy time of year for everybody, I think. And because of that, our episode regularity has suffered a little bit, but it's a hiatus. We'll be back with our topics because, as I shared in my stories, I think a couple weeks ago, we do have something that we're working on that I don't even want to say out loud until we've worked through it, but it would be exciting for us and a change, and I think a good addition to our show that our listeners would enjoy. So, back to what I came on here to talk about before I gave that long introduction on where we've been. St. Patrick's Day. I wanted to get this out so that hopefully most of you guys can listen this afternoon on the actual day of St. Patrick's Day. First, I wanted to share some facts because this is where I started this morning. We were on the way to school, and I was driving, and I hit Brian and I said, look up some St. Patrick's Day facts that we can share with the boys. And so we did just a real quick initial Google, the old Google lookup. And then from there, I have some great accounts that I follow on Instagram that I just love for different feast days. They tell you all about them, all these fun facts. One of them it always takes like the approach of, because I think it's a homeschool sort of curriculum creating page, and so it always puts it in a good, succinct, here's 5 facts to share with your kids that they would appreciate kind of thing. And so anyways, going through all of those today, I've really enjoyed reading about St. Patrick. So I'll share some of my favorite facts. There's a ton out there. One thing I did not realize is how far back St. Patrick's Day has been celebrated, and it makes sense, but St. Patrick himself was born, I think, in 385 AD, so many, many moons ago. And the biggest thing that caught me off guard was he is not, in fact, Irish. I just assumed he was Irish. He was actually British. But when he was 16 years old, he was captured and enslaved in Ireland. And I don't even know, I haven't read anything that says for sure how long he was there, but he escaped and went back to Britain. And later, I guess because of a dream, he already had taken up his faith and everything, and was, I think, pretty immediately increasing his faith, probably while he was even enslaved. But he studied and became a priest and then a bishop, and then later had a dream where he describes that the people of Ireland, and he gives kind of a good deal of detail on his dream, but the people of Ireland were essentially calling him back to bring the good news of Christianity, and so he did. And maybe that's when he became a priest. I may have that backwards. And anyways, he returned to Ireland and preached the gospel. And he is famous for using the shamrock or the clover to illustrate the Trinity. So the idea was, three leaves but one stem, and not 1,000% theologically sound probably, but a really nice, easy illustration. And that's what he used in Ireland, spreading the gospel, was he would illustrate the Trinity with the shamrock. Because I'm sure that's a concept. I mean, we still struggle with it today. So they struggled to understand that then. And that's what he would use to illustrate how the Trinity works and help people kind of understand that part of our Christian faith. And so we celebrate him on St. Patrick's Day. He died March 17th, so that's where the feast day comes from. And, obviously this has become also like a secular holiday where it's just kind of all about Irish heritage and, little whimsical things like leprechauns and all that good stuff. But it all stemmed from the feast day of St. Patrick on March 17th. He's a really great one to look up. Some of these I look up and I forget them probably right after I've read through them, or at least by the end of the day. And his story is one that I would encourage you to, read something about today, share something with your kids about St. Patrick, and try to, kind of reclaim this feast day for him and for the increase of our faith. One of my favorite things, and if you have any of this kind of material in your algorithm, I'm sure you have seen at least a part of this. I guess it's a prayer inspired by him or attributed to St. Patrick, and it's called the St. Patrick's Breastplate. And you should look it up. It's too long for me to just sit here and read to you guys, but it's a prayer for protection, and at the end of the prayer, it ends with this. And so I want to leave this with you guys because I just thought it was really beautiful. It's Christ with me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ in me, Christ beneath me, Christ above me, Christ on my right, Christ on my left, Christ when I lie down, Christ when I sit down, Christ when I arise, Christ in the heart of every man who thinks of me, Christ in the mouth of everyone who speaks of me, Christ in every eye that sees me, Christ in every ear that hears me. I just thought that was so beautiful, and you'll see little iterations of that prayer today as people are sharing about St. Patrick, and I just thought that was such a cool way. He's basically saying, number one, he lives for Christ, but not just that, he exudes Christ. He's allowed Christ in every aspect of his life. And what a good reminder and encouragement for the day to open up any area that you've been hiding from Christ. Let him in. I saw something today that was, if you go to church and that's on Sunday and that's your hour of God time, then that's not a faith. Christ is a hobby at that point for you. And if that's kind of where you find yourself, and maybe what I just said is a little convicting, or at least makes you give it a second thought, am I doing that? Maybe take this prayer from St. Patrick and try to live that out. So I hope that encourages someone today. and is a fun little fact that you can share with your family, your kids about St. Patrick's. I probably will share a couple of my favorite resources for these types of things, like feast day celebrations, fun facts about something happening in the liturgical calendar, or, whatever's being celebrated that day, over on our Instagram page. So make sure you are following us at discuss_with us on Instagram and Facebook. And while I'm at it, shameless plug here, I shared a reel yesterday, just a funny little reel about laundry and family planning. Go watch it. It's worth a little giggle if you haven't seen it yet. And if you would, share that, comment, like on it. That helps us. It's gotten, that one, I think, resonates with people. And the ones that do resonate and get shared or liked or interacted with, that boosts the old algorithm and helps people find our podcast. So we always appreciate anybody who's interacting with us on social media. It really does make a difference and help. So make sure you're going and doing that, because believe it or not, we will be off of our hiatus soon, and we'll be pressing forward with topics that we've just literally had notes written out for and everything, different topics that we want to cover. So we'll get back to it, but make sure you're following along and hang in there with us. Thanks for giving us the grace that I'm really trying very hard to give ourselves. That's what I said I was going to do in 2025, was give us a little grace on our schedule. But we will keep pressing through these topics. We do enjoy going through these and getting listener input and just discussing it. So hope we're inspiring some discussion in your house, and that you have a great rest of your day on this St. Patrick's Day.